There are 3 essential knots that every jewelry maker needs to know, and in today's jewelry workshop I'm going to show you overhand, lark's head, and sliding knots. So let's start out with overhand. What you want is a piece of cord, and you can even do multiple cords together, but all you do is loop the cord around your fingers and pass the end through the loop. So that is an overhand knot. You slide this down. If you are using smaller thread or cord, you can use a beading awl to make sure that it's nice and tight. In this case, I'm making a little bit more casual design, so I'm fine with it just positioning close to the bead section here. Now the next thing to keep in mind with overhand knot is that you always want to tie in the same direction so that your beads will lay really nicely. So you would continue to this end of the strand rather than working the other direction and pull that tight. And then you're ready to add another beaded section. So that works well at the end of jewelry too, and I'll show you how to do that in a sec. But the lark's head knot is kind of a fancy name for this macrame knot. You can use it with any style of pendant that has a larger hole. So what you do is pass your cords through the front. You'll notice that I already folded them in half. Then you're going to bring the ends through that loop that you created and pull that tight. And I like for the 2 cords to be parallel on the front of the pendant rather than in the back. You can see how they separate, but that's totally up to you. Now at the end, you could either do the overhand knot like I just showed you, or you can do sliding knots so that this necklace is adjustable. If you want to make it adjustable, all you need to do is an overhand knot, but it helps me to visualize if I lay it with the cords pointing toward the front of the piece, and then tie your loop. And you always want to make sure that this cord then is also pointing toward the front of the piece, and that's what makes your knot slide. So you can see there it's laying in line toward the front. So on the other end you would just adjust it and again make your loop and pass through so that it's pointing toward the front of the piece. So you would poke that through the loop and pull, and that gives you your sliding knots. So that is fun for pieces where you aren't exactly sure how long you want it to be, or if you don't want to use a clasp, you just want to keep it really simple. And then you can slide this to make it longer to fit over your head. Of course, I would trim this up a little bit, and then it's really nice and neat. Now, if you take a look at this bracelet that I have, it's the same 2 knots that I just showed you, the lark's head here, and it has a lark's head on the other side. So you can see that it has cords and the sliding knots. And you pull those back to adjust this bracelet. Now you could also make a choker like this. You would just keep in mind when you're measuring, and that's something that you can measure using the cords on a beading board or with a measuring tape to make sure that you get the right length of cord to be able to create these knots. Lark's head here, and then the sliding knots here. Now on this piece, this is all overhand knots. And I really love the way that this works with 2 pieces of cord. So I have leather cord, and then I also have some metallic thread that's running through there. And I did overhand knots between each of the beaded sections, and it has an overhand knot at each end. So if you look at the end and the loop here, this just fits over the last bead, and that overhand knot is keeping it all in place. This piece has the lark's head knot here at the front, and that's another way that you can use to attach rings and other donut-shaped pendants, and an overhand at the back. And the way to finish this is to add a few crimp covers, and that makes it really nice and finished looking. That's our jewelry making workshop for today.